Damn right. And you're gonna make a difference.
This one comes with a basic sort of digital package.
Hey, you can make money off my name, make it, okay?
You got the power to change lives, right?
Hello and welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. If you're interested in creating your own digital product or just want to learn more, you're in the right place. Whether you're just starting out or have been working on your digital product for a while, we hope that our podcast will provide valuable insights and inspiration to help you on your journey. Take it away, Barry.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, I'm sure if you were on the internet on May 4th, you just seen Star Wars everywhere. It was all over Twitter, it was on Google, you couldn't miss it. So, I know I'm a little bit late with this podcast episode, but I'm going to give you 10 Star Wars lessons that you can use in your online business and also help you boost your confidence in yourself. Now, I'm sure you remember at the start of the first Star Wars movie, Luke was just a normal person. But by the end of the first movie, he started to find out a lot about himself, that he had some untapped skills, that he had some talent there, and he'd never used them, didn't even realize they were there. And it's going to be like that with you too. So what I would recommend is you embrace your inner Jedi. Be aware that there are more skills and talents in you than you're not even using right now. And sometimes those skills and talents are outside our comfort zone, and sometimes we have to, like Luke, blast off into space, leave it all behind us, go out into the unknown to develop those skills. But I just want you to remember that there are a lot of untapped potential in you right now. Now, I'm sure you also seen in the Star Wars movies, everybody seemed to have a mentor. Luke had Obi-Wan, and then he'd Yoda. And you always find that, if they were at a point where they just didn't know, well, what do I need to do? How do I attack here? How do I, explain more about the Force, or whatever questions they had at the time, there was always a mentor or someone they could reach out to for more information. And you should be like that as well too. You should seek out mentors. You should seek out people who are beyond you so they can pass on their wisdom to you to help you grow and move out. So always seek guidance for people who have achieved the success that you're looking to achieve and learn from their experiences. Again, you'll see too, in the Star Wars movie, the Rebel Alliance, they always relied on teamwork. It was never Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon, taking on the Death Star and doing it all on his own. There was always a team of them. There was always all the X-Wing fighters. There was everybody and anybody who was getting involved in that battle. So what I'd recommend is, just like, the Rebel Alliance, you need to build a strong network of people who will support you. Now, these don't have to be people who are, creating online businesses themselves. It can be people who motivate you, mentors, books, videos. Build a small, strong network of people who can support you, positive people that will inspire you, make you want to get out of your comfort zone, make you want to stretch yourself, and help you in your business. You also found too in the Star Wars movies that, most of the characters had to overcome fears. And as Yoda would say, fear is the path to the dark side. But I also say that fear is the path to the small side, the small life. If you're looking for a larger life, if you're looking to earn more money, if you're looking to achieve bigger things, you're going to need to go in the opposite direction. You're going to need to go in the opposite way to that small voice that's in your head right now that's trying to tell you to stick to this path, because this is a safe path. This is the path where you're not going to make any mistakes, where you're not going to draw criticism to yourself, where everything is going to go smoothly. But no, as you've seen in the characters in the movies, they had moments when they wanted to overcome their fears. So don't let your fear hold you back, because as Yoda said, it leads to the dark side, but I think even more so, it leads to the small side. So work on overcoming your fears. Now, you also seen in the Star Wars movies, and in the Star Wars, business itself, the movies, the books, all the different things, they adapted and evolved over time. I'm sure like when George Lucas wrote the first Star Wars movie, he wanted to make a good movie. He wanted to make money off it, but he never envisioned what was going to happen in the future. He never saw the books. He probably never thought of the video games. He never thought of the TV shows, all the spin-offs, all the different things that could spin off from this first movie. So, when you're looking at your own business, maybe look at it through the eyes of, what Star Wars is doing at the moment. Is there any way you can maybe branch off in different directions? Is there any way you can maybe do some prequel work or some sequel work? Or, how can you evolve and adapt to what's going on right now? Again, the Star Wars movies, the reason they were so successful was the power of storytelling. They captivated audience, they kept that script. We were wondering, well, is Luke Skywalker, is he going to meet Darth Vader, and will he be able to compete against him? And, all those different things. There was a lot of kind of characters and storytelling going on in those movies. And again, what I recommend you should do is actually use storytelling yourself, to engage your audience and to make your brand memorable. Sometimes the things that can separate maybe two businesses is that one tells a great story and the other has no story. Or that one has a personality or has a person, that when we think of that business, we don't just think of a generic business, we think of that person's business. And again, you have a look at the other business who's just generic. We have no personality, we have no person at the front, we've got no face to it, and it doesn't appeal to us. So put more of you in your business. Tell more of your stories. Why are you doing what you're doing? What are you trying to achieve? What results have you had for yourself? What results have you had for other people? Tell us more of those stories. And that's going to help us engage with you, and it's going to make your brand memorable. So never underestimate the power of storytelling. Again, too, when you are telling your stories and you are, sending a message out there on the internet, be consistent with your messaging. Star Wars, you always recognize it. The theme tune, the font, all the different things made it the same. It never really changed over the years, even though it's been running for, years and years. It always kind of made us feel the same way. Now, some people would probably argue with that. Some people probably say the last couple of movies sucked compared to the original ones. But it was always kind of, in the kind of same kind of general wheelhouse. So always try and make sure that you have like a brand or a consistent brand, that when we look at your social media content, we know it's yours. Or when we listen to your podcast, we know it's yours. And again, having you all over that content will probably make it more consistent in its messaging. Again, too, the Star Wars movies, the Rebel Alliance always had their back to the wall. Sometimes you had this huge obstacle they needed to get. Like, how the hell do you blow up a Death Star? How do we get rid of this thing? This thing is going to kill us all. But they didn't give up. They persevered. They always knew there was a small chink. There was always a small way. There was always something they could do to get over it. Again, I would recommend being like the Rebel Alliance. Persevering against the odds. Now, right now, maybe the odds probably seem stacked against you that, everybody's making money online, so you're not going to make money online, or that you're just not going to be able to compete with the big guys out there. But what I recommend is that if you persevere against all those odds, if you don't give up, if you stay committed, keep coming back again and again and again and again, you're slowly going to chip away at whatever you need to chip away at. Again, sometimes, when we have maybe just starting off and we're looking ahead of ourselves and saying, well, I've got all this content I need to create, I've got this audience I have to build, and you're just tiny at the moment, and you have so much things ahead of you that sometimes we just get daunted by it. But if you're going to persevere against all odds, you'll know that perseverance takes consistency. It takes showing up consistently, doing the same things over and over again, never giving up. You'll find that like an elephant, you can eat an elephant one piece at a time. So whatever kind of odds you kind of seem up against, just look down at your feet. The top of the mountain might seem far off, and from looking from where you are, the top of the mountain seems like one point that you're never going to achieve. But rather than looking at the top of the mountain, how about just looking at your feet? How about looking at what you do on a daily basis? How about just doing the same things over and over again consistently, and you will find that you will persevere against those odds. So don't give up because the odds are too big right now. You never know who's going to step into your path in the future and point you in the right direction. You might, find a mentor. You might find your Obi-Wan or your Yoda that's going to show you how to develop your skills and talents to get you to the next point in your journey. You also remember that, when it came to the Force, there was always a balance in it. You can go down the dark side or you can go on the good side, the light side. And so it is too with your business. And what I mean by that is, it's very easy for us to go down the dark side where we're just constantly working on our business all the time. We're just ignoring our health, we're ignoring our family, we're ignoring the important things in our lives because we're solely focused on our business. But you need to find balance. You need to have the yin and the yang. You need to, do the work. The work does need to be done, but you need to recharge. You need to step back for a moment. You just need to, take a breather. Just to get your energy back, to get your motivation back. And if you seek some type of balance, it's going to help you prevent from burnout. It's going to help you maintain your passion, and it's going to help you long term. There's no point in going flat out right now and then just giving up after a couple of weeks because you're just totally exhausted, mentally and physically. You need to seek balance. Don't go down the dark side. Focus on what needs to be done. Don't sacrifice your health, your life or your family for this online business. So you probably didn't think, well, there's much in Star Wars that you can actually use, but you'd be surprised. But what I would recommend before I do go is remember, embrace your inner Jedi. Right now you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're thinking to yourself, well, there's nothing too hot about me. All those other people are more talented than me or can, write better content or sound better on the microphone or whatever it is. But there are a lot of skills and talents in you right now. And the only way you're going to find that is actually to go and do those things. Find out if you can do them. Just because you haven't done it right now, it doesn't mean you can't do those things sometime in the future. I found that myself. I never thought I could write any fiction. Again, the only way I found out that I could write fiction was to write fiction. I didn't think I could record a podcast. But you know how I found out? I recorded a podcast. So you need to sometimes take the actions on the things you'd like to do, even if you don't believe in yourself. You need to kind of go with be more like, Han Solo, gung-ho, where you're racing down the corridor with your blaster in your hand and you're, chasing after a crowd of stormtroopers. Sometimes you need to just throw yourself into it. Just say, what the hell, I'm going to give it a go, I'm going to see what happens. And sometimes you can be very surprised with what'll happen. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. If you're interested in learning more about how to create your own profitable digital course from scratch, we have a special report that we know you'll love. To pick up your copy of Piggyback Profits, How to Make Your First Profitable Course, go to writecom.com now. We'll see you in the next episode.